Hello, it's me again. 1 second. Okay, so today's stream started a little bit later than usual. Um, yeah, yeah, you know what? Nothing. Today's stream started a little bit later than usual, so that's it. Okay. So. I hope you guys had a great day today. I hope you guys had. I mean, I can only hope, right? That today wasn't too hard and stuff. That's all I can hope, that today was, pretty chill. Anyways, another day, another stream, another set of things to talk about. All right, let's just. So I'm kind of doing a bunch of things on my other monitor, so you won't really see much happening here. But I am here and doing stuff. All right, let's see. JPEG to SVG. Exactly feel like talking today either. Let's try and do so. And like, so what's wrong with this thing now, bro? Okay, so I guess this is messed up. Right, let's see. Downloads, close. Let's take a look. Approved. That's good. That's good. I'm pretty free. I like that. I don't like I don't feel too good when I have a bunch of things left to do that are pending. I like it when I can look and be like, okay, if I decide to do absolutely nothing for the next, few days, few months, few years, whatever, I'll be good. So that's all we're doing today. We're finishing up the work for next week. It's Wednesday. But we kind of, I don't know, think about it. I like to think about it this way. It stacks. So if I finish the work for next week early right now, which I'm about to, I'm about to in this session, hopefully. Then I could finish the work for next week before next week even gets there. So I could potentially have like 2 weeks of nothing, and then obviously I can finish it next week. Like the more I finish the work of each coming week, I can probably stack to a point where I have like 5 weeks of, you know, not like freedom, but 5 weeks of buffer that I don't have to do anything really. Or am I just wasting my time? Like, would you rather I do the work in the week when I get to it? Like, you know, like right now I've already finished the work for this week. I finished it like last week, right? No, not last week. I finished it on Monday. And I could be like, okay, fine, I'm done. And then I'll just wait till next week comes around. And it's like, okay, I'm going to do next week's work and do it then each week. I don't know. I feel like that puts me in a spot where you never know what happens in the future. And if you need like the free time, you won't have it because, oh my God, I got to do this stuff this week. Anyway, that's enough yap from me. Is it an overlay? It's an overlay. Damn. Which means the size depends on like... I didn't make this, by the way. I didn't make this, by the way. I should just mention this is one of the epic examples, which I will be using to sort of like, get the work done. Yeah. So I'm still trying to think of what I will do for like a boxing thing. Let's make something in Blender real quick. Shouldn't really take too long. Let's keep the same resolutions as this. That is a crazy resolution. I don't know. But it's not the whole thing, right? So this is the underwater art. Okay, I'm going to work on the background of it, and I kind of need like a... It's going to be blurred, so I don't think it has to be too detailed, but let's just work on an image. Okay, you know what? You should know when to spend time on stuff. Like, sure, I could model what's in my head, but I could probably just go off with a ring. Let's go with that. Is this downloadable? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's kind of trash, though. Lots of people do like to be looking at everything and a thing, so I just will search here. Boxing. This is pretty much what I'm looking for, if I'm being honest. Let's see. But it costs money. I can just take a picture. I can just take a picture of the editor render and apply a blur on it. Let's see how much it costs. If it's not too expensive, then I'll just pick it up. Bloody chacho. Should I just buy like if we're being honest, I could do this on my own. Like I could set it up. I could model everything. But this is where it's like, oh, time. So this is the scene here. I think I should like go in. What is the oops? Open scene inspector. It shows like the half part normal submission. I wonder what this is using to. Oh, okay. It's the UV inspector, I believe. You can select the items. Nice. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, so switch HD textures. Oh yeah, you can see the difference for sure. Don't come after me. All right. Let's do some work. Ooh, that's new. The going gets tough. I still up first. Nothing should ever change that. First, let's do. Actually, I'm not a Figma like guru. You know, I'm not trying to brag. Just want to clear that out. But if you were to say, okay, are you comfortable in Unreal Engine, UEFN? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. I know my way around. Like I'm maybe not a. I can't say I'm not a guru. What the heck is a guru? A guru is like a master. Am I a UEFN master? Maybe I would say, okay, let's go with Blender. I'm like an intermediate Blender artist. I'm definitely not nowhere near master level, right? But that's okay. Blender isn't like my domain. It's not like my main thing. UEFN, on the other hand, it's kind of like my main thing. I would say I'm above intermediate for sure. Like I would say I'm a master at UEFN stuff, right? All parts of the editor, heck, we've got even verse and stuff. I would put myself up there. Realistically speaking, let's just say, but I'm not really a master at Figma, honestly. Like I only just do little edits here and there, but that's why I like it so much, because even though I'm not a master, I can do things. Like I can do things with the little knowledge that I have. All right, so I want to, I guess I could just crop, to be honest. And I was like, okay, well, how the heck do you crop stuff? Well, we're about to find out, because I don't think I've ever cropped something, but we're about to find out how to crop stuff. Oh, wait. I just realized, I probably should figure out how to crop, but since I just framed the image, I could, just like increase the size of. So the image. Oh my days! No! Now I know I couldn't do the thing because I put it inside something. Yeah, I accidentally put it inside there. Let's just plop it in here. It needs to come out on its own. There we go. All right, so now that the image is in there, I can like resize it, and the frame should kind of like clip content. Yeah, like that. So it's not cropped. The image itself is still in there, but I kind of cropped it with the thing. But let's figure out how to, actually crop something. I guess I could just, oh, never mind. It's right there. All right, so I just had to select the image itself, and there is crop. Oh, damn. Pretty anticlimactic. Can I do, because if I do this, that's gonna like expand everything. I don't want that really. Oh, never mind, I could just drag like here manually. Okay, so crop that. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna center the image and bigger. Actually, if I do frame, is that like a resize to content type thing? That would be nice. I'm just gonna like move that out, delete that, and then frame this one. Yeah, simple. Okay, let's do what we want to do to the thing. So we definitely want a layer blur. But first, I'm gonna say Let's just do that first then. You can sort of like blur, like in a gradient kind of thing. Is kind of like this, but like a little bit like this. So it's, you've got everything's blurred, and then you got this, and it's kind of like a little bit artistic. It has like an artistic flair to it, I would say. All right, so do that. Actually, probably pull this up a little bit more. Yep. Nice. So we kind of have this going. Let's see. I can actually put it anywhere on here, and that should work. Yep. So it's gonna go like around. Okay. I am liking this. Let's see the frame clip contents. Yikes. All right, let's go back here. I want to have the exact same size as this thing, which is, why is it that though? That's just so odd. Fish mover, what's that? Oh, okay. I think I kind of see stretch direction, both. And we are doing the user specified scale with the current meter value. So the current meter value is what's binding in here. And this is how we control the fish. So 0 to 1, I believe. Yeah, so 0 to 1 puts the fish there, kind of like controls this. Okay, and then this is inside of, inside of here. What is this? Okay, so this has the fish at the end, and then the fish moving the width of the fish over, and this is like, okay, so I would bind this to current meter value again. Did I just undo everything? Okay, maybe not. Oops. Yikes, I think it crashed. Oh, it crashed. That is crazy. Oh, not really. That's classic UEFN. Crashing left and right. Oh, no. We're back. Thank goodness I didn't close. Alright, so fish mover. We're going to bind this to, no, 0. And then I'm guessing this thing has the same padding value. So bind this to current meter value. Okay. And then we have to rename this to object mover. And what's this? The width override. That seems to have virtually no use there, but one second. Oh, yep, crashed. Oops, no. Three, space, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. Okay, so what you need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What you need to do, wait, sorry, I'm talking to someone, is to have the item class, item.entity class, and the oh, actually, probably like this. Yep. If it fails to get the entity class, then it would just not do the thing. Oh. I wonder if you can make it like, let's see, again. Yeah, yeah, it sounds crazy as I'm talking to myself, but I'm not. I just don't know that, and I can't go on the call with that stuff. All right, well, let's I'm pretty much done with that conversation. I wonder if, I hope, I don't know, like when you talk and you stop talking, there are some ticks that may, like just kind of sound off in the mouth. I hope my mic isn't picking all those stuff up. Just because it's so close to my mouth. I hope it's not picking up like, the little sub expressions that just by virtue of being human you would make after speaking. Stuff like the realistic. Let's say I finish talking and I right there and I take and I breathe in, or I gulp. What am I even? Anyway, I hope my mic is fine. Is all I'm saying. Let's see. Let's test some stuff real quick. Let's see how this is gonna look. So people recently hounded on me for having a flashlight manager, but it manages the thing. Okay, it manages the thing. All right. How do you make this? Just put HTTPS. Is that it? Let's see. X.com. Oh, you just /Juno _106 / highlights. This is kind of like my my portfolio. Let's talk about it before I carry on. So let's click. Hey, look at that! It opened the highlights. Oh yeah. Okay. So these are some of the stuff I've made. I kind of added some of the nicer things to, this one page, just so people can see. But I remember this thing that I made. How could I? Isn't that? Oh man, I love being able to make stuff. I love Blender, and I love Verse too as well. Let's try to find it. Yeah, let's try to find it because I made that like it was literally one day I was laying in bed and I just had this urge. I was watching Netflix actually, and I was watching Umbrella Academy, I believe, and I the next episode came on, and I looked at it. I was like, I bet I can make that in Blender. And I just like dropped. I just stood up, stood up from the bed, went to the PC, and I was like, I just started doing, just open the blend file, open Blender, and just started doing stuff. And yeah, sometimes it's kind of like that. I'm just laying in bed or doing some random stuff, and I'm like, I bet I can make that in XXX software. And I just drop whatever I'm doing and just go and start doing it. So we are going to find. Damn. Here, maybe? Nope. Let's kind of just know. Nope. Looking around. Maybe it's here. It's kind of likely. Nope. I forgot you could actually. Oh, I forgot you could just do this. Can I make it bigger? Yes, I can. All right. Oh, now I know I don't do that. Yeah, that's why I don't do it, because it makes it hard to go through the other stuff. Where was I? Walking around, modeling characters. I didn't actually model stuff though. I was supposed to follow a tutorial there, but I just I didn't stick with it. So geometry nodes. Okay, so no. I don't think it's here. Oh, I actually forgot I had this. Damn. I have like a bunch of maps stuff. Actually, holy shit, I forgot I had this. No way. I totally forgot that I had this. Do I have the textures? Probably not. All pink, purple, all purple. Imagine if it's not purple. Oh, I have the crazy work. Damn. Oh, well, would you look at that? Let's look at everything in Eevee. It's gonna be faster. I think, hopefully. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I totally forgot I had. Yeah, of course. Of course that happened. Okay. Let's keep looking. I'm looking for the Netflix file. Right? So, where was it? Environments, game environments. Small material, secure the llama. You want extension development? No. Come on. Okay, not that. Sculpts. Daily models, maybe? It could be here. Yeah, there it is. I hope so. Yes. Don't tell me I... Okay, so pretty sure I made this fully... Yeah, so I made this fully procedural. Right, the stuff starts like this. And then there should be a lattice yeah, a bunch of lattice stuff. It goes through, pumps it up, then chucks that down, and then color changes. to thingy. All right, and the whole procedural aspect of it is that I can go in here and I can type something, I think. Yep. So Netflix, and of course I can change the font. Let's go with the Netflix font, which should be Bebis New. Baby Bebis New. I love Bebis. I love Bebis. No, I love my new Bebis. Yeah, so there we go. That happens, and then the lattice comes in from the other side, and then the oh wait, this is the lattice. It just moves, and the actual text itself also has some keyframes. Yeah, I scale it up to make it pop out because I didn't want to move, because if you move it's going to affect the lattice. So I just scale it up and then I shrink and then I push this one back down, and then it turns to emissive red. Okay, and if we go in camera view and render, this is what, let me disable the overlays too. This is what it looks like. Boom. So it does the little thing as it goes in. It turns black. I should have saved, because I actually did a bunch of, no way man, please tell me I didn't delete. Come on. Let's see this one. Okay, so this other text up here has no shadow, so it's kind of different. I think I used that for the Fortnite one, because I don't know, I don't remember, but let's put this one back. Netflix one has the I wasn't really satisfied with this. If you watch that, if you look at the original Netflix one, I didn't get the shadow. I mean, I got the shadow to line up, but this part of the shadow, the horizontal, doesn't actually line up. But you know, it's after a while I kind of just gave up and accepted it as that. So yeah, let's put the overlays back and let's go into solid view. Now for the Fortnite one, right, I did something like I kind of locked in a little bit with the material. There we go. So why is it not showing up? It is visible. Mix shader between that and diffuse. Oh, okay, I need to connect. Oh, so this is where the color of the thing is controlled. So for the Fortnite one, I use this. It's gonna switch between like that and this one when it gets there. And this is what it looks like. So it's gonna be the blue with the, of course you need to be there, and also need to be rendering, because I believe I'm doing this in the, nope, it's on a plane. It's on a plane, so why am I not seeing it? Why does it look like that? Oh my lordy lord. Something must have happened. Wait. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Missing this, my gradient. I'm using the gradient to drive these two colors. And badoosh. There we go. The OG Fortnite gradient background. So let's put this text disable. Let's enable this one. And well, what's up with you, buddy? Why is it red? Sheesh. Let's just make this white. to actually make this is like the secondary color when it gets to the thingy, and then this is the primary color. So make it like black on start. Why is it doing that though? So black on start, and then why is it red? Mix linear light. No, shouldn't be. Linear light, it should be at. Oh, it's red because it's literally still red. Okay. So linear light it is. I should have picked that for a reason, so I'm not gonna change that. I'm gonna turn it white. Oh, this is the value. We need the hue and the saturation to be off. There we go. All right, so like this now, and I'm actually gonna switch from this linear light thing because this is kind of like blending there. I don't want it to do that. So I don't know. Mix. Yeah, we'll go with mix. Anyway, this is the Fortnite one. Let's just undo everything. Oh, for flicks. Oh yeah, I remember. I was gonna make an alternate of it for. There's this guy who has a channel. Oh, hello. Yeah, sure. What's your question? I think I should have that in my description, but I answer questions and whatever. So, yep. I don't know. Like, every time I look at this, I'm like, if you didn't know that I made this, you would think this is the original one. I would think so. Like anyone would see this and be like, oh, that's Netflix logo thing. Oh wait, by the way, it has a sound. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for that. Is bro typing his question out? Damn, bro's question is about to be a really long one. Alright, there we go. And then of course I have the Fortnite version. The thing is, on this font, it actually pissed me off. On this Fortnite font, when you deform the text, it had this weird thing. Thankfully, it wasn't there. Was it? Not really. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it was kind of like here a little bit. But it just on the T, it started there, and then it showed up midway, kind of here. But you know, it was too fast, so it wasn't very obvious. And then on the X as well. I could have fixed this if I had made the font into a mesh, but then you wouldn't be able to like edit the text. So, but the Fortnite one though was so obvious. Sorry about that, you guys. Oh, I'm supposed to pause it first. Yep, it was so obvious, kind of, but it looks cool. It looks like a little scratch thing. Anyway, and then I don't like that, but there. That is my audio. Okay, let's see. Horror map. You wanted to spread papers around the map with some tasks and infos on them. How can you create those papers where you can write on them? Alright, so first I need to kind of like understand your question here. Are you Okay, horror map and tasking. You want to do like paper or handwriting? Okay, here. Okay, 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 okay. Let's see. I mean, kind of like the first thing you would go for is if you're talking about like high quality, then obviously you would want your paper to, you know, kind of look good. Let's see. So let's say this is a page of A4 dimensions. Let's make a horror map paper thing. What is this? 2 meters? Hell no. Do 210 millimeters by 297 millimeters. So that's one paper. And then right here, now ideally you would make this as a texture, like you wouldn't bring fonts thing. So you would do a texture and you would put it on. Actually, yeah, that's the simplest way. I'm just gonna go off in Blender here and just kind of go on because I already have a thing. I'll show you how you do it with like an editor or something. But let me just do Blender because I'm already in here. So we have text, going to do middle, and then size. Just gonna tone that down a bit. And then of course we're going to bring it up like a little bit. Tiny bit. You know what, like, should I do the Blender thing? Because in Blender, actually, 1 second. Let me check to make sure. Fonts, help me, help me, help me. Ain't no way. Where's my help me font, bro? Help. Okay, so I can't find the font. Let me just get the font real quick. The fonts. Oh, do I have it installed? I don't think so. The fonts. Let's make a horror note. Help me. Alright, we'll get this. Just going to extract that to here, and I will put it. Oh wait, horror. I had it there, but damn. Okay, so I have it, but I have it in like a folder of horror fonts. I forgot. Help me. So that's that one. There's also this one if you want to go with that. So Ghastly Panic, Help Me, and Who Asks Satan. These are kind of like my favorite horror fonts. Now, what I'm showing here is how I would do it, by the way. Okay. It's more like turn on the generator or something. Generator. Right. But here, let's give you a practical way. You need a way to make this into a texture for your stuff. So you can, I mean, straight out of the bat, I would use Figma. But okay, wait. What, like, do you use any? Do you know like what photo editing things do you have? I don't want you to start getting into Figma if that's not what you use. So let's do it with the other alternative, which is my old friend Canva. So you go to canva.com. Then you create, when you're on Canva, however, don't create the texture for your paper in like portrait because you're making a texture. You want to do custom. Where's the custom? Good lordy lord. Custom size. There we go. And you want to pick something that is in the power of 2 because that's what Unreal works with and it makes your game performance. So we're just going to go with a 1024 by 1024 pixels. And you start dragging a text box. So click on text, add text box. Okay, wait. So you have two options here. If I were to be real, like I don't know how many, because you say you want to spread papers around the map. There is like an easy way kind of thing, and then there's a hard manual way. So if you're going the manual way, which means like the paper is big enough for the players to see it, and the paper physically has the instructions, then this is what you would do. So you would come in here and you would, you know, I don't know, let's stick with turn on the generator. I feel like that's classic horror game something. Shut the doors. Close the windows. Okay, so come into Canva, just make this into a thing. Let's pop this in the middle here. I should actually have that help me, or another one like a scratchy thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it though, but I should have it for sure. There we go. Bro, that is just insane. That's all you get. That's all you get. So let's gonna add another dot. Just delete the dot, and yep, gonna go with this. Anyway, you want to make your texture. That's all I'm gonna say. You want to make your texture like this. Okay, again, it depends. It really depends. Let's say, because okay, for example, let's say, okay, so the player interact with the paper and spread around the screen. Oh, okay. Okay, now that's the second way I was hoping you would go for, because this is, you'd have to make like many textures for each instruction, and that's not really ideal. What I was going to suggest was, if you wanted to make it so that like your paper looks, like paper, like maybe old paper, then you can't make sure to export your instructions as transparent, and then put that on the paper thing. But then again, for your idea, I'm going to go off and guess that maybe you kind of have like some gibberish, right? So you could probably, I mean, you could even just make it yourself. Hell, just go into something, maybe not necessarily Blender. I don't know what thing you use, but I'm just going to use Blender for example. And you know, wait, is it too small to do? Oh wait, never mind. I forgot to. You just do like something, you just write gibberish stuff. And then you make a texture out of this and you put it on your paper, and that's okay. And that's okay. That's okay. So then what you want to do is, the paper is just like a prop. The player clicks it, like the player can't actually read what's on the thing that you just, the gibberish that you just did. The player should not be able to read that. Then the player clicks on the prop, and then it opens up a widget blueprint. So we're going to have to switch from the whole Blender stuff. So I can show you how to possibly make something like that. So actually, well, we're going to go easy with this one. I'm just going to get a... Actually, I'm going to make it here on screen for you. So yeah. Aren't you lucky? Let's search. Open paper texture. Of course, you can make it yourself, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we have something like this. Are we serious? We are not real. Sorry, Berchacho. Don't do this. Don't pay for it. Pay for it. I'm not gonna use it. But like, I'm not showing you how to. Anyway, pay for your stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Actually skipped Figma. Should open, and then I'm gonna frame this. I'm gonna set the frame to be, let's do 2048 by 2048. Then I'm gonna center this. You can do this in whatever you want. I'm just using Figma because, but basically you want to get your texture is what I'm saying. You want to get your texture however you get your paper. It doesn't have to be this one, but I'm using this one as the example. And then we're just gonna do export. Yep, that's right. Export as downloads. I'm just gonna call this T_paper. And this should export as a PNG. Okay, so we got the paper. I'm sorry, Obijo. I'll definitely. I don't know, maybe not. And then, 1 second, I have to switch. A horror map? I haven't created a horror. I did create like a little thing for. Well, we're gonna go back to my highlights because funny enough, it's in there for a showcase. Okay, I created 2 things. I wanted to showcase something. It wasn't like a full map, but I just created like a little stuff for it. So the first thing was my flashlight, which I made for people who, damn, look at that, for people like you. Anyway, my flashlight thing. It's that's the tutorial there, and if you want to pick it up on the, I'm not selling you a thing. I'm just like pointing it out. Okay, so you know, the environment type situation. I would say I've created stuff for it, but not necessarily a map fully. I don't really publish that many things. This is just a prefab, obviously, but and then if I would say the closest thing to a horror map that I've created would be this thing, which I made for a thingy that I wanted to showcase. Oh, look, it's positions. Ooh, scary. My recording kind of messed up here, so I just want to say you're going to see the screen kind of mess up a little bit, but that's the recording. Yeah. Flipping windows, clipping. You know, you could put like spooky music on this and call it a horror map, I guess. I wasn't Pollutions. Actually, someone mentioned the stream in some thingy, and then I came in and I was scrolling through the chat and I saw your stuff. I wasn't in the screen in the stream with you. Okay, so it's obviously not a horror map, but I wanted to show this thing that speaking of, I'll be putting this on my Patreon. Like not this one specifically, but a watered down version of it. This thing that I made. I made this thing which you click. You can like use to click on stuff, and it has two modes. And the second mode is like a mouse type mode. So I was trying to someone said the mouse thing. Someone told me the mouse thing was kind of useless. So I was trying to tell them that apart from being able to click on things, you could just use the mouse movement in itself as a gameplay type stuff. So then I had the idea to combine, I don't know if I'm gonna find it here, but I don't think I'm gonna find it here. Wow, is it? 1 second. Yep, I'm not gonna. Anyway, I made a material, like a black hole material thing that I then put. So here you become the black hole. But I made the black hole material thing. I modified the black hole material thing so that when you look through the center, you would see hidden. You can hide stuff that is only visible when you look through the center. So I thought it would be cool to use it in a horror map setting. So I just quickly drafted up this little thing, and that's what that is. You can see stuff through the thing. All right, let's make your note type stuff, right? Let's make the note thing. So we have texture. Let's go into somewhere else. Actually, does it matter? It doesn't really. Yeah. Okay. So we'll make a widget blueprint. Use a widget. We'll call this BP_notes. Right. And the thing is, the way we're going to make this is so you can type in any message in verse and it will update the note. So, and then you can show it to a player or take it away from a player. You can show it to a player, hide it from or remove it from the player. So we're going to add in a canvas panel. And then we're going to add in an image. And then for the image, you want it to be why is the the colors go away at some point? Like, please don't do that. Anyway, import, and I will bring in my legally downloaded paper. What is the problem? 2048 by 2049. Crazy. That's wrong though. Anyway, you run into that in UEFN. Just click texture, conform texture. That should fix it. Okay, so we bring in our texture here, and we set that and size to content, or maybe not. Size to content, I'm just going to go for like a super simple thing here. 1024, 1024. Maybe that's too much. Like 800? 800. Okay, so this is how it's going to look on the person's screen when they open it. If you want to bake some information into the texture, you can do that as well. Like, you can have like instructions baked into the texture. And then next thing would be, you would get your message, right? So a text block, you put that there, and you would just type out like you would type out the message, like you would type out an example of what your stuff should look like, so you can visualize it on the screen. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did before in Canva. I don't want to type it out again because yes, I am lazy. Don't tell me it didn't save. Oh my god, it did not save. All right, so we're typing out again. Nice. So we'll do one turn on the generator. 2 turn on the lights. Okay, so we'll do this and anchors there. Oh, text box. Basically, you just want to set up your thing so that when you type the message in verse, it will show up correctly. So for example, I'm looking at, let's say this is number 1, right? Let's say my stuff is here. This is number 1. Another thing is the anchors. Imagine if a player is playing on a different screen, how would it look? You want to test that with, by moving this around to make sure it doesn't move anywhere. Okay, so let's say I typed in a 3-line message in verse. What would happen? Do something. Boom. I don't want that, because then if I typed in a 4-line message, then you can see where it's going. So that's why you want to type in a few lines or whatever so you can set up your stuff correctly. But for now, I'm just going to make this to here you go to justify. There should be like a justification. So you do this one, and then so let's see, alignment 0. Let's see if that fixes it. I actually know what I should do to fix it, but here I'm just kind of showing you how you would. There, so alignment 0 on the X will make it so that if you add new lines to your stuff, it just goes down that way. Another way you could do it is to turn off size to content, and it would also do the same thing, but then you would have to position differently. So just check that on, set the alignment on the Y to be 0, so it just goes down this way. And then of course, if you want your stuff to show up differently, you can also do that like this. I mean, if you're typing in Arabic, then you could do this too, but anyway, so we go with this. But you finish this up, and this is like your example instructions. Next thing you want to do is set up variables for this. And ideally, I would make it's here that you would make the text look how you want it to look. So in this case, should be black, but obviously not like fully black, kind of. If you want to go extra, like super nice, you could make a font material. Because for example, I don't know, text, should we do that? Let's kind of kick that off a little bit, because it shouldn't be too hard to do. Material. This is what I color my stuff, and the colors just keeps going away. Anyway, material. Let's quickly make a underscore, I don't know, scratched text, scratched ink. Can't spell. Scratched ink. And here we do UI. Right now I'm not working on a map. I am helping Playtime TVE with a question that he asked concerning how to make UI stuff for his horror map. But the map I'm working on, the background currently is a 1v1 map, you could say. Yep. Oh my god, another 1v1 map. It's different. It's different. It's different. So material, user interface, and then you do. I think for this, you can kind of get away with mask, to be honest. So here, just drag out. My goodness, texture. You can type in texture. Sorry, right click. But I don't. I'm not. If I'm showing stuff that are simple, I'm not trying to say you don't know how to do the simple stuff. Either way, you want to connect a texture to this thing. If you don't know how to do, if you don't know how to do any stuff, any step, or how I did the thing, just ask and I will go back. Anyway, so connect the texture here and make a noise. Do, I don't know, just pick whatever noise is in there. We're gonna use this, and hopefully this should work. We might need to tweak this a little bit. But then if I go here and I go on the text block and appearance, font material, and I search for my thingy, scratched ink, boom, we have something that looks, a little bit nicer than if it was just all black and not really that realistic, basically. Of course, you can now go in and sort of like tweak this a little bit. So I'm gonna add a UV coordinate. Oh, that's cool. I'm only gonna work on a huge, I don't even know. I was gonna make a game, like all my life I've really wanted, not all my life, but like for the past two years. No, for the past, like, before UEFN came out practically, I've always wanted to make a game similar to Where Winds Meet. But now Where Winds Meet has come out and it's free and it's obviously a lot better, and it's like, is there a point in me making one? But personally, I would only work on a huge survival type game. Another one I want to make is like Robinson Crusoe. If you don't know Robinson Crusoe, it's like you get stranded on an island and you've got to build, like, house and gather resources and stuff. I'd only make that like when I have a map that's doing good, if I'm being honest, because discovery is not very, very stable right now. Anyway, multiply 2 just to make the effect a little bit less. Sorry, make the effect more because we're shrinking. 0.5, make it less. Of course, you could even do things like change the noise too. You could do a lot of things. So let's say fractal noise. This one should be like a lot more I didn't save. I mean, quite frankly, a lot subtle. So much that it removed the whole thing. So let's just delete that maybe. Just play around. It's there. If I were to do, you click on the node, or you click on the empty space, and you choose translucency, and I put this into opacity, then you would actually see something. Like, it would be a lot, it's doing something, but it's not doing what you really want it to do. Anyway, I don't know if there's Perlin noise here. Oh, there is. Okay, so we can try that and then go back to, don't do opacity, because you can do whatever you want, obviously, but this is what you get. Personally, I would do masked so that it I don't know, I feel like it looks better for specifically what I'm doing, and also it's actually cheaper if you look at the stuff. Of course, you shouldn't concern yourself with all that yet, but I'm just saying that stuff is cheaper if you do masked. So let me just make some quick material control here, because actually I am invested. Oh, okay. Now then in that case that does track, because if you already have the story, then that's kind of like, for the most part, that is like most of the work done, because you can't make a good story map without making the story first. I've always wanted to make a choices, a visual novel type of game. Actually, Positions, back in the day I was talking about it when I said to use the health, because I'm talking about back in Creative 1.0 days, and I was trying to think of, in Creative 1.0, my main issue was I didn't know how I would store the player's progress through the novel, and I had the wonderful idea to use their health as the thingy, so like as the page count. So when they load in, I would set them to 1 health, and every page they go, I would increase their health by 1, and then I can check whenever they load back in to get what page they were supposed to be in. Long story. Anyway, I digress. Let's kind of make this, you know, maybe not like that, but definitely not like that too. Anyway, and you know what? Actually, now I think about it, this is just fine. Yep, do that, call it a day. So now we have our nice little simple font material. The font doesn't look crazy ugly. I'm actually going to change the font too. The unfortunate thing with doing this method is that you only have the fonts that you got here, right? Like, this is all you have, realistically speaking. Damn, and it's ugly. And I mean, it's not ugly, but it wouldn't fit the theme for what you're doing. But you know, it's all right, I guess. The kids are used to it. Yep. So I don't know. Do that. We will do. Where's the stupid line spacing? There is no line spacing. Oh, there it is. All right, so you do a thing, and then what you want to do then is make a variable, right? You go to, if you don't have this thing this panel here, you go to Window, and you go to variables. So you make a verse variable for this thing. Click Add. You say, I'm just going to call it v instruction message. I'll just call it instructions, whatever. And then of type message, and then you save. And what you want to do then is go to view bindings, not view models, view bindings. And you click on the widget while the widget is selected. You go to the details, and you go to, this is the easiest way. Obviously, you can do it manually, but this is the easiest way. You go to the text place. Don't delete the text. It's fine. You click on this little chain icon, and you want to select the variable you just made, and you click select. So now it's going to bind the variable to the text box, so that if you set the variable, like the text, in verse, it will update what's on this place. So I guess the next things you could do would just be purely cosmetic, making it look nice and stuff. You could make it look nice in a whole lot of ways, but I'm just going to do a very ultra very simple animation. Look at it, like this should probably have both been in an overlay or something, but who cares? We're gonna do an animation. I'll call it nm_open. Obviously you don't have to do this, but you know, I'm just showing you a simple, slightly better than just bam in your face type way of doing stuff, of doing something like this. If I were doing it, maybe you could have like a crumpled paper opening animation, but that's getting too complex. So we're gonna do a simple, slide up or maybe slide down, like a fade. We'll do a simple animation here, like a simple pickup animation. Let's do that. So click on canvas panel, and I'm going to add that. This is where it is right now. I kind of like it where it is. So we're gonna keep that. And then I'm going to add a keyframe because I like where it is. So I will add here transform, and then I'll add a keyframe. So this is kind of like where everything should be at the end. I'll just move this keyframe You can't do that. So just add another keyframe here. And then we're going to change this one a little bit. So we're going to go to the scale and we're going to make it bigger. This is just my idea for, you know, a nice little simple thing. We're going to make it bigger like that. So basically it's going to go big and then it's going to go small and it's going to stay like this. So like that, but definitely not that long. Ideally you want your keyframes to be like animation transition keyframes to be within 300 milliseconds. So I'm just going to plop this at 0.3, you know, that's a good number. Okay, now that's too much for this animation that I want to do. So I'm going to chuck it back down a little bit to 0.5. All right, that's nice. And then another thing I'm going to do is basically add in transparency. So it kind of fades in. So canvas panel plus again, render opacity. And then I'm going to go here a little bit before it finishes closing. I think that's going to be nice. I'm going to add the keyframe at 1, and then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to make it like 0. Well, not 0, but like 0.2 or something. Maybe I should have made it 0. Yeah, I'm going to make it 0 after that. So 0 on this keyframe, you just hover over the keyframe and then you can change the value. And then boom. Another thing I want to do is kind of like, now this is nice, but you know, nicer polish. Let's test that there. Nicer polish would be to do, you could do so many things. Let's make this look nice. I'm so sorry that I'm taking too long on your request here. We could settle in on this, and this would be like the position. So what we do is we go up, and apart from, you know, having it start big, we kind of have it start up a little bit. So we bump up the Y, well, bump down the Y, just move it until it goes up, whatever. I'm gonna do like a nice round number because I like round numbers. My -100. And now we have, damn, didn't even look like it did anything. All right, we're gonna bump it up a lot more. Yeah, go up, buddy. To like -400. Okay, and then we're going to have it really go up at this point. This is not, yeah, okay, man. Okay, bucko. 800. And then we're going to, it's not going to go, I don't want it linear like this because that kind of looks smucky. So we're going to have it sort of like come in quickly and then move down a little bit. So I'm going to add a new keyframe here. And this should be like a lot lower. So I'm going to do, what the heck did it do? Okay, so basically this is just one frame. Yeah, that's not enough. So then just gonna close this and I'm gonna move this like out to the 30 thingy, then move this here. Why does it look like it's coming down and then sort of like going? Okay, it looks like it's going up because it's scaling down. Yikes. All right, we're gonna, sheesh. I'm getting a little bit too invested here. Go back up a little bit. And yep. Let's move this up a little bit too as well. So you are the player. And you open the thing and you see that. Yeah, I think it's okay. All right. I just don't want to waste your time. You might be like, oh my God, man, hurry. Never mind. So, oops. No, man, stop. Okay, so you come in and you pick up the note. This is a very simple thingy. I want to see if there's like, let me see if I can get a nice trick that can really help you level it up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe, um, let's see. So I'm just gonna delete the ones I know I don't need, so I didn't share this. And of course you could do this other way. You can have it like zoom out a little bit. If you're having it zoom out, like coming from the top, one thing I would suggest so that your stuff doesn't look, I'm not doing any rotation either. So if you're having it zoom in, let me see if I can, yep. Open Alt. Let's do this one here. Because this might be, you know, ideally, I mean, you might like this more. Let's see. So we're going from the scale, we're gonna keep, we're going to these two. We're gonna delete this one, and then we're gonna move this. Oh, we should not have deleted them. Rather, we change them. So if you're having it start smaller, do not have it start from 0. Most people, you know, I mean, of course you can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying, like, from a visually appealing perspective, some people don't know why their stuff doesn't look nice. So you have, that's another way to do it. You can have like a drop up. So let's see, hold up, where's the button? Scale, and then zoom 1. That's the last one on my screen. So boom, 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 and G. Okay, so that's a thing you can do. But if you had, especially when you have it fading in with the render opacity stuff, just have it start from like not 0, like have it start from like half scale or something. That ends up looking really nice. So boom, boom. Oh, I forgot the other thing that we did, which was, oh, no, I didn't do any other thing. I forgot there's a keyframe there, which shouldn't be there. I didn't change the right keyframes. So 0.5 here, and then you need to like hover over the keyframes because that can happen to anyone. But basically having it start like not from scratch gives you this result. Something like that. And if I get rid of this thing that I added here, then it would actually come down and kind of like go up a little bit. Well, if that, it didn't. Oh, it didn't go up a little bit because I'm not scaling up. So I can move this. Ideally, honestly, I would just plop into the thing and just do it here. So this is the one, is it? Yeah, it's this one. Just go into the graph. If you want to understand what I'm doing here a little bit better, just tell me and I would explain, but I want to just quickly, because it just needs to look better. Right, so let's do this, and then I'm just going to make it bounce up and then come back down a little bit. That's all I'm doing. It's going to like go up and come down. So, but I don't know if it's going to go, I hope it doesn't go up too much. Yeah, so it just did a little bounce there. That's what I did without having to add, you know, the keyframes. And now I'm looking at it and it's too much. So let's have like a little bounce. Okay, so that's one way. And then, you know, this is another way. Either way, when you create your animation, you can take as much time as you want on this, right? Because it's what people will see a lot. You then want your animation to play automatically when this thing is given to the player, and it's kind of simple. What you do is you add a condition, boom. When you pick here, you're gonna pick, this is like this thing, as you can see, the same hierarchy. So when the main stuff, actually you can use anyone to be honest, when it is enabled, you pick enabled, you click select. When is enabled? Enabled is this setting here. It's usually on. I mean, ideally it should be, it's on by default, right? So when this, so off is 0, on is 1. So when the BP note is enabled, oh wait, I can do this, I forgot. When the BP note is enabled is equal to 1, so you just type 1 there, then you want to choose, you click here, you click on this thing, not the children, specifically on the big one, and then you want to do cue play animation forward. So you click on this one, you click select, and then here you want to click on this button. So you click on this button, and then you, right now the stream is at an hour and 36 minutes, in case if you want to come back here. So you click on the stuff, cue play animation forward, click on the button, you need to click on this one, and then you can select. So you click select, you just click here, you click on this thing, and you want to look for the animation that you want to pick. So I'm just going to go with the anim underscore. That's why I named it anim underscore, because it may be hard to find, but you know, anim underscore open, we're just going to go with that one. You click select, and that's all. Don't click restore state. If you do restore state, it's going to do it, it's going to finish playing the animation, and it would revert to what the, after, when it finishes playing the animation, so when it gets here, it's going to go back to how it was before it played the animation. So don't click restore state, just is enabled, equal 1, cue play animation forward, you click on the blue button and you choose the animation, and you, yeah, that's what you do. Now the next thing you do before you close off, right, is that you go into, wait, let me see. So here we are animating the canvas panel, render opacity to go from 0 to 1. So this is how we're kind of like getting it to show up. So what you want to do is that you, when you're done doing everything, before you leave, you just click on the canvas panel and you set, wait, make sure you're not in the animation. If you're in an animation, it'll have these things. And if you do a setting here, it's actually going to put a keyframe. So make sure you like click out of the animations by just clicking the empty space. And before you leave, you just set the, in the canvas panel, not the BP nodes. Gotta make sure not to. So in the canvas panel, you set the render opacity to 0. Now what this means is ideally, like, you're done. You shouldn't, because if you want to work on your stuff, you just put it back on 1, you work on your stuff, and whenever you're about to save, you put it back to 0. So by putting it to 0, when the player gets the stuff, it's going to animate that value from 0 to 1, and it's going to be visible. So you compile, you save. So for this stuff, you only have 2 things. The animation, you don't really need the second one, to be honest, or whatever. If you want to make it play random, okay, no, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Just get one animation and the variable instructions, and you bind the instructions to the text block and the details. Click on the thing and choose instructions. Yeah, so let's just compile and we close this. Now I'm going to make a simple little thing for you that you can bind a button and, you know, put a message to it. I'm gonna do that for you here. Let's see. But I actually do need to change the level because I don't do stuff in here, because I'm gonna load in to here. 1 second. Okay, now we are in, I mean, it's still kind of loading. Hope I didn't crash. Oh yeah, now we are on my level with the usual stuff. All right, so let's make a verse code for you to do the thing. Oh wait, yeah, you know, it's fine. So verse explorer, right click, add verse files project, verse device. I'm going to call this my you know, instructions. So tempted to say instructions manager. Let's just leave it as instructions device. Notes device. Notes device. So create. just gonna do its little thing. Oh, the thing's already open. Okay, so where did it do notes? Oh, there it is. Okay, so you know, like you said, unfortunately, like it would be not, it would have been if you were like, you know, versed in verse and scene graph, the easiest way for you to have done this would have actually been, I don't know, should I give you up on that? Like, should I set you up with that? Like, scene graph would be the easiest way you can do this. Like, scene graph would be the easiest. You know what? Scene graph would actually be the, yeah, because otherwise you would have to have button devices and you'd have to have like an array of buttons. And honestly, scene graph is the easiest way to do this. So I'm going to show you how to do it with scene graph, because it is going to be the easiest way for you to do this, honestly. In terms of how you manage it, yeah, I don't know what else to say besides that. Unfortunately though, that means I have to open another project where I do my scene graph stuff. So let me just migrate this real quick. Migrate, yeah. To scene graph playground. There. All right. Yeah, scene graph actually is hands down the easiest way you're going to do this. Otherwise, you would have to put prop, you'd have to get a button device, and then you'd have to like go back to the notes manager thing, and you have to like put the button device, and you have to like have an array of the text, the instructions and stuff. But with scene graph, you literally just drag a note, drag what should be on the note, and player clicks the note, and boom, they get the thing. So we're gonna go with scene graph, honestly. I don't even know why I tried to do first device. Yikes. Scene graph. I don't know when you started working on your map. Hopefully it was after Fortnite version 28. Version 28 was like what? Like season 2, chapter 2, season 8? Like hopefully it was recently. Not version 28, it wasn't 38. Hopefully you started working on your map recently, so you should have like, you should be able to enable scene graph without having to do some extra steps. But yeah, straight up scene graph is the way. If you've I don't know how far you've gone in, but if you've done other stuff on your map with verse and you haven't done scene graph stuff, you will see that scene graph is indeed the way. It's just magnificent. Okay, we are opening up pretty quickly, actually. In, just keep that there at the back. Okay, there we go. Let's do a little note stuff. So I'm just going to make a folder. You don't have to make a folder. I'm just making a folder because I like to for it. Yeah, note. Okay. Then you want to make an assets. You don't. Okay. You know what? Just 2 months ago. Okay, then that's pretty good. That's okay. Probably all you need to 2 months ago. Actually, you probably already might even have scene graph enabled by default. But if you don't, you go to project. You go to project settings, and you just turn on this thing, scene graph system. All right. So then I'm going to I like to put everything together just because, you know what? I'm going to put everything together, and after this stuff, I might actually put it on my Patreon, so you could probably just even grab it there, to be honest, for free. The flashlight is paid, but this would be for free, obviously, because it's I don't know. I won't put it on my Patreon. Like if I'm to put it on my Patreon, I would have to like make it really nice and crazy, and I don't have the time for that. But for now, let's just put the stuff in. You can maybe I'll put it on a drive link or something. Let me find my stuff here. So we have. Where did we go then? BPs? Yeah. Okay. So notes. Just gonna drag that in here, and I'm gonna get my scratch text, scratch ink. Drag that in here. And get my super legal paper and drag that in here as well. Over here. Doing it this way just makes it so that if I want to share this to someone, again, this is Be About Scene Graph. I literally just give you the folder, you drag the folder, drop it in your project, and boom, you just have the thing. Okay. So again, we're gonna make a prefab. This is a new type if not on scene graph. So entity prefab, and you want to click just new prefab, and then I'm going to call this pf_note. Now I think about it. So you want to call this, where is it? Note. Yeah, just call this note. That should be fine. Yeah. So pf_note, scratch ink BP note, and then we'll go in here. And you need like a mesh thing. So, okay, you know what? Here we're gonna do the thing. Did I close the Blender stuff? I did. You know what? For now, we're just gonna go with a cube, so we don't. But then, when if you get a static mesh of the thing you want to be the notes. Oh my god, you can even make it so the notes is random. Scene graph is beautiful. But for now, we're just gonna go with a cube. So that you know, we kind of push things along really quickly. So you do the cube, and I'm just going to leave only this one here. I'm going to then add a new component, new verse component. I will call this note component. So this is the custom thing that would make this cube into a note. Actually, I was going to do something stupid. The players need a way to close out the note, right? They do. We can easily do that in here, actually. So, I'm just going to click my canvas panel and make it visible so we can see what we're doing. Just drag in a custom button and plop that in there. And you can have the button, you know, visible and have text, or, you know, that text that says Brody, please. I actually just want to move it down. Please just go down, buddy. You could do whatever. You can make this. You don't have to use the custom button. You can do like the, you know, like the button, whatever. But the thing is, I don't actually want this button to be visible. I want it to be so that, unfortunately, the players are just going to have to try. But when you press escape, it's automatically going to back out, right? So that's what I want to do. So I put the button. You know what? Let's do the thing where you have like the text, just so you can. I guess it's going to be easier that way. We do button quiet. Just click on this one. I mean, if you dragged it out, you would drag it out, but I just want to replace. Oh man, this shit is ugly. Anyway, what you need is, ain't no way. File. Okay, there we go. I was wondering where that went. So you need to add a new one, and we're gonna call this v close event. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it that. And then I'm going to change the type to be event, and then I will save. And then what we want to do is the button, we want to first end the button. Now this is how you make it so that when the player presses a like escape or something, it will automatically trigger the button. So they can either press the button or they can press escape. So in the button, you just button, and here you want to go, you know what, honestly, I'm not really a fan of this thing, so but just know you would use this, right? And then when you use, I mean, if you want to, you can use this, because here you could like, you know, like press close or something. You could do this, but I'm not going to use this because just because. So we're going to replace it back with a custom button. You know what? I'm making this for you, so let's just use it. F that. I mean, I'm gonna have to assume this is the middle somewhere. So close. Yeah, that's the thing. So you go on the button and you scroll to where it says triggering enhanced input action, and you just click on that and search back. So this means input action UI back. Boom. You click on that, back. So if a player clicks back, it's going to automatically press the button, or the player can press the button. So, but then you also need to kind of like tell the verse code that, hey, the player pressed the button, remove the UI. So that's what we're going to set up now. You just set this, and then you want to add the widget, not condition this time. I'm just going to close these two. So you want to add the widget, it will add the button, and then you want to click on here, and then you want to choose on clicked. So on clicked, you click on event, not select. Event, and then you click on this place, you click on the BP, and then you look for the variable, the event thing we did, which is going to be this. So V close it, you write it like this, but it will put the spaces automatically, so just keep that in mind. So you click here, V close event, click that, you click select, and that's it. So when this is clicked, it will. Did I click select or something? Hold up a minute. Something just, I don't know, feels right. Something doesn't feel right. One second. Pin pad, pin entry, assets, BP, rebindings. Collapse all categories. Say close. Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess they simplified it. Anyway, so you just do that. You click the button, you click add. We're not using this one though, but you click add, and then you click on the first one, you find onClicked, you click event, and then you click on the second one, you click here, and then you click on the, I'm only giving the instructions in case if I don't put this on a drive link, because like I have said, unfortunately, I'm too lazy. So you click on the vClose event, and boom, you've got this whole thing set up. And I'm just going to, again, set the canvas, actually set the button. I don't even want it to be visible. I'm just going to make that invisible. And then again, obviously set the canvas to be invisible. Compile and save. Now we are done with that. Yes, we can now go over to the fun part, which is somehow closed. 1 second, actually. There we go. Oh yeah, this. Oh, damn. That's a problem for me specifically. It's a problem for me because I have a thing named notes in my code somewhere. So let's just call this notes. And I'm guessing that is a problem too, because I probably have something called notes somewhere in there, or it's not working. Oops. Resave all. Compile verse. I was a little bit skeptical when I was, there we go. So notes is because I had like a piano thing that I made. I had notes in there. So it's asking, did you mean this note or did you mean that folder note, basically? All right. Where is notes components? I'm just going to put that in the thing. I'm just putting it in the folder. Once again, specific. You don't have to do this, but I'm doing it in case if I have to give it out, then everything will be in the folder. Okay, so the notes is here, and I'm just going to go back into the prefab and add the components. So I'm just going to add that notes component. Now let's write this, because this is basically the meat of it. So first thing we're going to have is a text or instruction text, fast editable instruction text, and it's going to be of type string, and it would be missing instructions. No, let's just keep it like that. That's just stuff. So instruction text of that, and I'm going to make a little, we don't need this and we don't need this whole thing, so we're just leaving the on simulate and instruction text. So first thing I'm going to make is a string to message function. So I already have it, but I'm making it in here so you can see. So string, it doesn't have to be this long, but if I call it what I call the other one, I'm probably going to get an error. String to message will take in a string of type string, and it will return a message. I don't know what this is. This way you don't trust the AI and you write yourself. Take in a string of type string, colon, message equals string. Then here we do, why does it feel like it's not here? This just feels wrong for some reason. So you need to type in localizers. So my editor needs to cook once so it can start showing me the errors. And I need to save something. Oh, that built successfully with no problems. That's crazy. Yeah, I definitely have string to messages in other places. Okay, you didn't complain. I'm not going to complain. All right. So this is the thing that, because basically remember we have, no, not there. Basically we have like, you know, this as a, why does it do that? We have this as a message, so we need to convert the string, which is, you're going to type out the notes in the editor. Like when you place it down, you type the notes for it and it will show up when you click the stuff. So we do that, and then we on simulate, we're going to, you might not understand this, but this is the part where you would ideally just ideally just copy what I'm writing. So we're going to do interaction comp, interact comp. You know, the easiest way, honestly. So I usually don't use interaction component. The easiest way to go about this would be to, on the note here, in addition to having like you make, okay, no, let's do it that way. What I was going to do was going to make it so if you forget to put the thing I'm about to put, it would automatically put it, because you can put it reverse. But basically, when you make your prefab and you put the mesh of the notes. This is supposed to be the note mesh that the player would see. You also come in here and you just type in, like, you can type in basic interactable components, or you could use like the regular one, but basic interactable components. And then, you know, it gives you this thing. So basically you can like put like a, I don't know, pickup here. You could put pickup there and call it a day. Don't bother about the other things really. You could just put pickup. The thing is, if you put a regular interaction component, you can't set the text. It will only show up as interact in game. But with the basic one, you can at least set the text of it. Or again, I guess you could just, I made a custom one with that is like a little bit better and has a text. You know what? Just use the basic one. Basic one, you just put the text, and this, if the player can pick it up, which all the players can pick it up, since we won't be telling it not to let a player pick it up. They will just see the message you put in the first one. So you can just ignore the second one. So pick up, you just put that there on the same prefab that will have the note components. So this one prefab, don't create any other entities. One thing you should be careful about is if you're going to drag, let's say I don't have this cube here. All right. Let's say you made your, you downloaded your note mesh. Maybe you found like a nice note mesh on Sketchfab, and you download it. And first thing to actually, if you download the mesh, make sure you compile verse, or you won't be able to put in the prefab little note. But let's say you downloaded your note mesh and it's this thing, and you drag it over. If you put it here, it's going to make a new entity. So you should put it here. If you're dragging it over, this is when you do it. You put it here, and this is going to be a node mesh, right? Versus putting it. Actually, you know what? You can actually put it anywhere you like, to be honest. Yeah. But basically, if you put it here, you might accidentally move it separately from the parent. So don't do that. Just put the node mesh. I'm not going to use this thing. You can also search actually on the thing. So cube is what we're going to use for now. So you should have 4 components on this prefab. A transform, this one's here by default. It's basically where the position is. The basic interactable, which is, you know, how you can put the text, and the notes component, which is what I'm writing in verse. And then the cube is going to be, well, not cube, but the mesh is going to be a thing. So let's finish up writing the notes component. Okay, so first thing we want to do is get the interaction component. And we're going to say when a player interacts with this, show them the note, basically. So if interaction comp is entity.getComponents, interaction component, pretty much like this. I've done this so many times, the thing knows how to autocomplete. Sorry, it's not interaction component. Good Lord, interactable components. That's what it is. So if an interaction component is going to try and get the component that we put on the entity, which is, you know, that entity, that the prefab thing. Then let's actually make our thing. So show no. Oh wow, look at that. Is it listening to me? That's okay. I'm not gonna be skeptical here, but that's crazy. Anyway, show no to show no to player. We're gonna fill this up with other stuff after, but let's just leave it here for now. So show no to player. So agent, I can call it whatever, but I'm gonna call it an agent since it is of type agent. So if we get the interaction components, then interaction components dot we need the succeeded event. So by the way, you can control click on things and you kind of like get more information and stuff if you're new to verse, just saying. Anyway, so interaction component dot succeeded event dot subscribe. Are you new to verse, by the way? I kind of want to know how, so I don't over explain stuff. Subscribe to show note to player. That's it actually. Yeah, so for here, that's all. So player clicks the button, it's just going to do this. It's going to show us the note. So what is the note thing? First of all, we want to create the note. So note, I'll just say paper. Paper colon equals BP underscore note. And then bracket. Now it doesn't know what this is. Now, okay, so this is kind of like, this is also a reason why I kind of do my stuff like this. All my prefab things, you'll see that they have an asset folder. Apart from being able to share them, so you might have to like make your stuff in an asset folder, or you can always, you don't have to, but you might have to. It's so that if I need to get like, you know, some of the assets, in this case, I need to inverse. Where's the notes? ABCDFGH. Inverse, I need to get this widgets that we just made. So since everything is in one folder, I can just do using notes dot assets, and then it knows that I'm referring to this thing that is in the notes folder, basically. So paper is this thing has, like, you know, the instructions. It also has the close events as well. Those are the variables we made. So first things first is that we have the paper, so we can now do set paper dot instructions. Paper dot v instructions is what I called it. So we're going to set that variable to be not instruction text, because it expects message, but then instruction text, which is this thing, is a string. That's where this guy comes in handy. We do string to message. So this string to message takes in the string, which is going to be, in this case, this thing, and then it returns a message of, it just converts the string to message. And you need to write it like this, by the way. It just needs to be written like this. So I'm kind of wondering now if, like, I can just have this kind of like start out by default. If you can do this. Oh wait, no, sorry, without this one. Oh, okay, you can. So you don't need to set it. Basically, you can have it start out set already. So in the BP notes, it has these things. It has instructions, it has a close event. We can set the instructions as we are making the BP note. So that's what we do here. We just do v instructions colon equals string to message instruction text. I think I can actually write this here too. Yeah, you can. This makes it like a tiny bit faster. You don't have to, but it makes it faster, like by a tiny bit. Doesn't matter, but you know, get performance where you can. Okay, so now basically this paper is a BP note with whatever instruction text you put. It's going to start out like that. So now what we need to do is add it to the player. And when we add it to the player, we start listening for when the player pressed the back button so we can remove it from the player. That's it. Oh, we should have made like a... You can also, you can also make like a, you know, like a removal animation, but that's a whole setup. Let's not do that for this session. But you can do that. You can make it so that, you know, it has a removal animation, but we're not doing that. We are not doing that. So next thing we want to do is we want to get the player's UI, and then we want to put this paper on the player's UI. And you do that by saying, should I just copy from where I've written before? So if player, I did parentheses, player UI colon equals get player UI of this one specifically wants a player, so we're going to cast our agent to a player. So this is how we do it. You write, it's telling you you need to specify. So if you get this just used inside function, this, it doesn't know what player UI is. Did you forget to specify using this? So just copy this and paste it up here. What did I do? Oh, sheesh, sorry. You should do player UI with not parentheses. You should do it with square brackets. You see here, get player UI, this function here, expects a player, and it gives you the player UI back if it succeeds. Succeeds is what I'm saying specifically here because it has this thing here called the decide specifier. And what this says is basically this function can fail. Oh, right there, it can fail. And if you're writing a function that has the decide specifier, you have to write it with like square bracket. Like you don't, like here, you know, we did like parentheses, but then a decides function needs to be written with square bracket, and then you put this stuff inside the square bracket. Okay, so if player UI is this, then you want to do player UI dot add widget. This is basically hot message device, but elite tier. Add widget, and it expects a widget, and that widget we have is the paper. So paper, and that's it. This would add it to the player stuff, and when it does that, because we have the stuff set so it's enabled, it will automatically play the like opening animation. You don't have to do anything else, just this. So now what we need to do is actually come up here and write suspense. Okay, you know what? For you to suspend here, you would need to subscribe suspend to here, because this succeeded event, like if I try to save this now, for example, you see it's going to complain a little bit. I don't know why it's not giving me this stuff, but if I go here to the build errors, it's trying to take this thing, but you're giving it something that has this thing. And if I click on it, it's going to send me right to here. So we're going to do things a little bit different. We are going to make a function that removes the widget from the player's UI. So we're going to say dismiss nodes. I'm going from player, right? So from player, I'm going to make this an extension. So player colon type player dot dismiss nodes, and then it should take a widget, which is what it's going to remove, of type widget colon void equals, but it should be suspense, because it's going to wait for the player to press the thing, and then it's going to remove it when the player presses the thing. So actually the widget it's going to take is specifically going to be BP note. Let me just put that here. I'll just make this note. Yep. Hope it doesn't complain, please. All right, nice. So just to recap, if a person, we get the components, blah, blah, blah. If they press it, that's when it succeeds, it's going to show the notes to the player. And then to show the note to the player, we make a new note. And then we get the particular player's UI that just pressed it, and we add that note to the person's UI. And then it's going to show on their screen. And then we are going to then spawn. Spawn is because basically we're going to be waiting for them to press the thing, press the dismiss, but we don't want to stop the code from running. So we want to, like, you know, spawn a separate thread that we will be like a listener. So that's what the spawn is. If you're suspense functions. So we're going to spawn player know what? We're gonna spawn player. I'm going to make a player first of all. Let's kind of like remove this so I can use player. So first of all, we're gonna say if player is, which is colon equals, if player is, we try to cast the agent, because we only get the agent from this thing here. So we try to cast that to a player to see if it's a player. I mean I do have a Discord server, but it's that I do have a Discord server, not that I don't really do much in there. So but yeah, so player dot dismiss note paper. Oh my god, the thing did not dismiss note paper. We do this. So player, wait, hold up, spawn. Let's put this in let's put in a bracket. I'm trying to write in a way that it's going to be easy. So spawn player dot dismiss note. So we're going to get this player and we're going to dismiss this note, which is going to pass that in here. And then we are simply going to say note. We're going to wait for the click event of the thing. So close event, we're going to wait for when that event happens. Right, so here we do note dot close event dot await. We just wait for the thing to close. So that's notes is this one here, which we just received, which is the paper, and the paper has, you know, has the close event that we made. So whenever they close, this line is going to hold up, until they close. Sheesh. To be honest, I don't have the time for that, but you can reach out on Twitter. You can reach out on Twitter, of course. You can reach out on Twitter. My username is Trino_006. Did I do like the wrong slash? Or am I supposed to use like backslash? That's me. It just opened Twitter on my other monitor. But yeah. Okay, so note dot close event. When you press the close event, we are just going to simply do yeah, you know, let's just copy this whole thing again. When they close it, we get the player UI, but this time we remove widget. So we remove the note, which was the paper. I mean, I guess I should have called it notes here, but it's fine. You know, let's call it paper everywhere. Paper, paper, paper. And yeah, this is it. This is it. So let me show you why I said SceneGraph makes this whole stuff easier. Now that we've written this little stuff to do this stuff, I'm just gonna compile. I don't know why I did that twice, but I'm gonna close this because I'm confident we won't need to open it again. And now we have this note here in our asset stuff. We have the prefab. Just make sure the prefab has the notes component. So now what you're able to do is that you're able to drag out your first note. You go to the note components and you write your instructions. So, hello. Oh man, I'm trying to put like a new line. I'm trying to put a new line, like second line. That's not working. So you have two options. You either do hello and you type \n, that's gonna put a new line, and then you put the next instruction. Ni hao. Ni hao ma. Or I guess we're going to go back in. This would work. It would put the thing on the second line. But I believe there should be a thing that we can do with the editable container itself that should allow us to type in multiple lines. I don't know if it's going to reflect on the thing, but it should. So let's just search. You don't need to do this when you're doing it because you've seen me do it, but I just don't know exactly where it is. So we're going to go editable. Space. Boom. Let's see. Editable. So I'm trying to think oh yeah, it's here. So let's go Control K, Control 0. I should not have done that, but it's in simulation and it's here. So editable text box. Yeah, we can do this. So we're going to do editable text box. Right? I'm going to replace this with that. And then we are going to do multi-line. So we're going to go colon, enter, multi-line, colon equals true. So this should allow us to do multi-line. All right, little hiccup, but now I should be able to just get rid of the \n and directly press shift enter. And now we have multi-line. So first instruction, shift enter. Third instruction, no. Nihama goes there. Third instruction, bonjour. I don't know. Fourth instruction, buenos dias. No, hola. All right, so now you see, like I did this here on this one, and you literally just duplicate it, right? Boom. Second note here, and you can place this in whatever room, and now you know what should be there. You just come in here and you just hi, my name is Juno. I never spelled that wrong. I write to inform you, to let you know she is watching. It is not safe. She loves you very much. And then another note. You get the point, right? Imagine if you had done this with verse or other stuff. If you know, you know. And then the end. Make sure to focus. All right, you save, and that's it. That is it. I'm just gonna put like a little there. She's watching. All right, boom, 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 and check that out. So you have just made yourself a node system. You're not dragging in any buttons. You're not, I mean, obviously if you're doing the verse device, whatever, you would do the buttons, you would have to write all the notes in. This is the beauty about SingGraph. You don't have to, like with verse, regular creative device, the device itself is like the manager, the overseer. It's kind of like connecting things. So like you have to write all your messages inside of the device, the verse device. And then you would have to like know which buttons connect to which. So you have like an array of buttons, or you could do like, maybe not an array of buttons. I'd probably do like a class where I have like button and message, but then all of that would be inside the thing. And there would be no way for you to like click on this button and know what message it has if you're doing verse device. But with SingGraph, the button like is just there. So you can click and be like, oh, okay, so this is what I wrote. Okay, this is what I wrote, easy. You can easily, make copies and stuff, and they will just work. So this is the, this is why I love SingGraph. Yeah, I love SingGraph a lot. I love verse a lot, and this is why. Because life is better. with SingGraph. Life is better with verse and SingGraph. All right, imagine if I go in and the shit just don't work. That'd be hilarious. Oh no, Schmack, it won't work. Damn, thinking I caught that on time. Sheesh. All right, so here we add play the widget. If you're doing it just like this, it's going to add it like a HUD message where you can't interact with it. So you won't actually be able to press the button. I mean, you will if you like press tab and pull up your flipping. You know when you press tab and you open your inventory, you're able to interact, like move your cursor around. So what we need to do is specifically use, we don't use this one, we use this one, this particular one, which takes in a player user slot. It's the same thing, but we're just going to do player UI slot. We're going to add that here, comma, player UI slot. And the player UI slot is a class, not a class, it's a struct that has these things. So what we want is the input mode. So we take the input mode and we set input mode equals player UI. Is it input mode? Input mode, UI input mode is an enum that has none and all. So none is it will not consume any input. So basically you can't click on buttons on it. You can't do any stuff, but all will consume all your input. So you won't be able to move around, but you would have your cursor on the screen and you can click on stuff. So we're going to do UI input mode dot all. That's it. You do this and now you can click on the buttons. I should be in already. I'm just going to do this and do that. And within 6 seconds, so 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I can walk up to anything, right? Click. Oh wait, no. This would be like a bug with, not like a bug, them changing how things work. It's been a long time since I did the thing. Boom. So now I know the buttons around here, but I'm just gonna press escape. One second, let's just put this on full screen. Oh, it's done. I keep changes. Of course, I guess you would make sure to put the. I'm gonna do that now, but you see how it's not there? That's probably because of where we put the anchor. Again, we put the top one, but we didn't put the left one. Oh, wait. I know why the back isn't working. Good Lord. And for this to not happen, you would have to like set this up as well. So I did this on purpose so that I can show you things to watch out for. So you have to set this in the BP so that it wraps the text at, you know, a max character count and stuff. Or of course you can manually make sure you don't overwrite, because what happened here is this line is too long and it just censored everything. But yeah, check this out. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. The game is running, by the way. That's the whole idea here. I'm just going to duplicate this and I'm going to say the game is running, by the way. Where did I put it? In the middle? Put it in the middle, like there. How cool is that? It doesn't, I mean, anyway. Let's do some corrections. So first of all, BP node, I mean, it's mostly here really. Canvas panel, just make it visible again. Do this. Oh, now I want to put like text, like long text. So I'm going to momentarily just disconnect this so I can type, you know. 2A. This is some extremely long text. All right, so that's the ideally you would do this and catch it. First of all, let's set this to like 0. And then we're going to move it in place. This way, no matter how short or long the thing gets, it does not, like, you know, because if it gets too short, it would just align it in the center here. That's why it's alignment. You want it to be 0, 0, so it aligns from basically here. So it doesn't move. So that's the first thing we're correcting, the alignment. And then for the text, let's just close this and find out where the heck that is. Wrapping. There we go. Auto wrap text. And then wrap text at and up there. Okay, so it wraps the text. Change the letter size. Yeah. Right here in the font, there is the size for the font. So you could bump that down, you know, or bump it up. I didn't really touch that because I didn't see any, but you can do that. So controls, you have the size for the fonts, and then you have the line height percentage, which is how I made the line like longer or shorter there. Now the thing is, something to mention is the auto wrap text wraps per word, so at every space, right? If you wanted to wrap per character, so you see where la will never get wrapped because I crashed. I think I crashed there. No way. Yep, I did. Sheesh. But it's okay because we're pretty much done. Thankfully, the Fortnite didn't crash. I could just restart UEFN. If Fortnite crashed, then actually both of them will restart, I guess. This is what oh no, this is the first time today. Let's go. I forgot that I've streamed into the new day. What is this song? Oh no. Okay, open up. Do I live in Europe? No, I don't. I live in Africa. Let's see. Single spring ground. Oh, it's actually opened pretty quickly. I forgot because I'm usually opening a bigger project that is just takes like six minutes to open. I forgot that it's pretty fast. All right, so notes. Just gonna put this again. I don't want to play it. There's just something to be mindful of. It's classic Blueprint stuff. Yeah, Blueprint, modeling tools. When you're working in these spaces, just be saving like Control-Shift-S as often as possible. If you save, even though you didn't compile it, actually save. So just Control-Shift-S as much as possible, so you save and you don't lose progress and stuff. But we're gonna go back at the stuff that we're doing. Details, right? We need this one. So again, alignment 0, 0, and then you position the thing. That way, if for example here I made this like short, it wouldn't, because if it was 0.5 on the X, I don't know why I didn't put it before, it would kind of like shift a little bit. So 0, 0, and then you put it where you want to be. So again, let's do 2A. This is another extremely where I love you. Just gonna save real quick, even though you don't compile, that's okay. So now here we have your settings, font, size. You could mess with that. You also have typeface for each font family. You only have 3 font families, so but there are many typefaces within each. So this is like, unfortunately, these are your only options. We're not yet whitelisted to import custom fonts, so you have to make do with these. And then, like I was saying, we go down to the wrapping, auto wrap text. You turn that on. It starts at 0, which is don't wrap really. No wrapping, of course, as you can see. Then you just want to put like the words. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do like 4. Which is, it's not word actually, now I think about it. It's a width thing. So it's not per word, it's per width. So you want to just drag it. This is why I recommended making a thing here before you do the binding, so you can customize your stuff. So drag it until it starts, making sense. So like this is okay. But then we have this very long one, which doesn't go. So you do advanced wrapping policy, and you can do allow per character wrapping, and boom, problem solved. And once you compile, now if I do this and I save, I don't have to touch anything else. I'm just going to launch session, and the ones that were problematic will be fixed. 1 second. I forgot that's not supposed to. Alrighty. Slime block, anyone? Okay, let's go. Man, I'm sorry. Oh man, I was working on that. But it's okay. I actually do take questions and go on little side quests. That's what I like to think of them, if anyone asks and stuff during my streams. We are going in, and yeah. Now, yeah. Like if I want to post this on my Patreon, even if it's for free, like I actually absolutely have to like polish it up. That's the thing. You know what? I'm actually supposed to post on the Patreon at some point. So I just might. I probably will, but it will take like, I don't know, 1 or 2 days. At the very least, I have to finish my work that I'm doing. I have to do before I go on that side quests. So normally, like that should work, but at some point, I think it was like version 40.0. No, sorry, 39.20. They made it so that you can't trigger interactable components when the game hasn't started, which kind of sucks because I used to have custom games that, like for my mini game, like pre-games, when players are waiting for others to load in and the game hasn't started, you could play stuff. But now I don't really care because I made this cursor thing which works when the game hasn't started and stuff. So, and I don't use the interactable component anymore, to be honest. All right, enough yap. Let's show. Sorry, I put the camera because I was doing my little slime block thing. But now, see, boom, 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 boom. And then the back not working, right? I'm pressing back and it's not working. That is a little thing that we are going to fix really quickly. Really quickly. I kind of forgot about it. But the problem is in Fortnite, there is something called, like, there are input mappings and then there are input contexts. So input context basically says, if this input context is the current one, when you press this button, do this thing, right? So that's how it knows. For example, when you're in game and you press like Q, it knows to pull out my builds because I have that current input mapping. But when I'm in the menu and I press, well, not Q, but like, let's say on a controller, I press like right trigger, it will know to switch the tabs because I have a different input mapping. So basically you need to add the correct context so the back can work. And that is pretty simple, actually. I'm not going to do it from scratch. I'm just going to go over to my pin stuff and copy it from there. So, yep. What we need is the menu navigation, because back is a menu navigation thing. If I click here, you see under the menu navigation, we have next tab, previous tab, next page, previous page, and back. So we need to add this one to the player so that when they press back, it will know that you are in a menu navigation context, basically. So we just rip this up. No too much stress there. We're just gonna plop that in here. And all this is doing just, it takes an agent. One of these, I think it's this one. Just add that, A, B, C, D, F, G. I'll put it here. And for this one, we also need like the little brother. So we'll just chuck that under here as well. Okay, so if you're ever coding, by the way, I have this thing usually turned on, but now I have it turned off. I'm just gonna delete this. So there's, if you don't know, there's this extension called Verse Auto Import, and what it does is it will just automatically put the thing, kind of like messes up a little bit, like there. No, it didn't, because I had the error before I enabled it, but it will automatically put the thing there. So if I were to delete this, the errors will come, and then it will just automatically start putting the necessary stuff to fix it. And you get that by going to extensions and search auto. Let me search verse auto import. Now there are two types there. I mean, there's the auto. This one is mine. Oh, I've hit 1K. Let's go. This one is mine. What mine does, it's kind of different. Just, yeah, it does a different thing. But what you want is the one by Vuke, which does the specific thing that I just said. If you are going into verse. If I don't post it on Patreon, could I send it on Discord? Okay, I can definitely send you this one on Discord. My Discord is, if you know, Discord 006. So just send me a friend request there. I could definitely send you this as it is on Discord. And then when I post the picture one, you could probably grab that one there too, because I intend to post that one for free. I said the next thing I would post would be free. Anyway, we are doing this here. We're just going to do show note to player. We are going to, before we add the widget, we're going to set mapping context to player to be true. And then when we remove the widget, we are going to set mapping context of the player to be false. So it takes away the context you don't need to have there. And that should be it. I don't know how I'll be able to show this on stream, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it that I will be pressing the escape on my keyboard. The mapping context just automatically handles whatever back is for people. So if you're on controller, whatever your back is, it's gonna listen for that. You need to put like one space here. Wait, now I need to, oh, I can do this again. And if it's not bringing the thing, I probably need to push fresh changes. Is that you? Okay. Just put that so you're up there. And so press, and then I press back. Like you can tell I pressed back because my mouse is over here, for example. My mouse is here. Press back, boom. That's also what I'm doing. Like in, oh man, I think I removed it. No, I removed it for my pin pad component. Used to be that, but oh, I can my cursor thing. I can remotely trigger stuff. I forgot. I love my cursor thing. Like, I spent 6 weeks on this, so I'm able to click on what I would have had to press. So this fix that fix. Is that the same text? Wait a minute. Why are they all the same text? Are they? Hold up. Huh. Let me see. Actually, need to investigate. This could be a situation of like you need to push changes or something. Because message banks and whatnot kind of do a thing. But thankfully I caught that. That's a... Oh no! Oh, okay. That's why they're all the same text. Because I put the thing, like the test stuff in the blueprint. So I could test and show you that, you need to, but I didn't reconnect the flipping variable back. So we just click that and we click the variable and we click select. That's it. So you need to basically, we're setting this thing in verse right when we're creating it, where we're converting this thing, which is going to be the stuff in the particular note in the editor. We're converting whatever we type there into a string and putting it here. We're putting it in V instructions, but then we need to be able to put the V instructions into the text of this text box. So that's what this is here. You bind the V instructions to replace the text of the text box, and that's the binding. And I actually forgot to turn. Does it even matter? The animation starts pretty. Actually, I don't even think it matters. Now I think about it, like, because the animation starts like really fast. So the animation starts. The animation starts the moment it's added. So like it already starts invisible. So yeah, no need to make that invisible. Just leave it as is. Compile, save, push. I need to push changes because stuff. You are welcome. I am glad I could help. This is what, like probably like the 8th time someone has actually asked for something on stream for their stuff. I used to have it in my description. I used to have like a long description of, hey, I could do side quests. Just ask whatever. But after a while, I kind of removed it because I wanted to type other random shit there. Random stuff there. Let's just finish and conclude that this is working and I can send this over. Now, when I send this over to you, you would just do it like this. So I would send a zip thing. So you would I would have to zip it so I can put it on Discord, and then you just unzip it and then just put the notes. You just drag the notes. I'm dragging the thing here. So you go into your stuff, documents, Fortnite projects, and you just open your project. ABCDFS. Just open any project, man. And then go into plugins, project, content, and you just drop it here. So you open Fortnite project, then I don't know, let's say we are in Scene Graph Playground. You open that, you go to content. So that's what I want to show you, is that some of them you need to go to plugins before. Either way, just make your way into content and you just drop the folder in here. Like it's going to be like this. So you just drop the folder in here, and then you open up your project and make sure you build verse code before you drag the prefab out. So you build verse code, and then you drag the prefab out. I don't think I'm using any custom stuff. All right. And yeah, that should be it. And skadoosh. I mean, the button is here. I know the button is here, but I can press escape, and that closes that. Since I'm going to be sent, yeah, escape. Escape. Pick up the note. Maybe you can even do like come down from the bottom or something. But yeah, that is the note system. If I'm going to do it, let me just like quickly just make an actual note stuff. I mean, there's so many ways you could go about this. Yeah. Just got like a little note mesh. Why is it taking so long to open up? All right, so X plane. $210 $297 scale SM underscore paper. Let's see if we can get like a nice texture for it. So notes, scribbles, paperish texture. There's got to be something. Yeah. Oh, of course there is. Okay, maybe let's not pick that one. Yeah, perfect. Download. Why is it asking me to do it? For chat, I just okay. You know what? I hate to be that guy, but it seems like we're gonna do it again. Screenshot. Open image. You tab. That's crazy. So, save Figma. I hate to be that guy, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Oh man. Let's see. Let's frame this up. Frame object, frame selection. We do the frame so we can set the size to, you know, match what we need. Let's just do 512 by 512. That's smaller, but that's okay. We are going to, because the texture is kind of small, so it doesn't necessarily need to be big. Plus, it's not like the guys are going to be able to read it anyways. I wonder why there's no fill to bounds or something. Anyway, that's all right. We do this and we do that. I wonder if I can. I know I could do it with Blender. I just don't know if I can. All right, let's see. So export frame 30. Call this C_scribbles, and we open up Blender, and I have an add-on which I hope is installed. Yeah, there we go. Import image 1:1. Downloads. There we go. Yikes. Okay, so my add-on is broken in this kind of, I think. Is it broken? It's definitely broken. This stuff should not have imported that way. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yep, my add-on is completely broken, unfortunately. Unfortunately, completely broken. Okay, let's just manually do it. So this. Wait, what is up with the thing doing? Mesh plane. Zero preview, and here we are just going to do. I'm just doing this for, you know, so you guys can have a starter mesh thing. So you do that, and we do color ramp. I wonder if there's an if node. Maybe let's try that. Color. This is my who needs AI editing when you've got whatever the heck I'm about to do. Math. Greater than. There we go. I'm sorry, buddy. Yep, that's just gonna flip that out. Okay, so then we put in a camera. Set the camera to orthographic and the scale to 1. Then put it 1 meter above. No, 1 meter. Oh, good lord, 1 meter above. And then this is just gonna match whatever the heck output we got here to 1024. I think that's it. Yep. And then we render in Eevee. Sampling. Eevee. Oh man, I should have just bought the texture. Oh my god, this is so bad what I'm doing. I should not be doing this. Absolutely not. Not principal BSDF. We are gonna do emission. And we're gonna use this. If that. Good to go. So Oops, I forgot to set the file output to be... I mean, I can't tell if it's black or if it's... Oh, wait. Transparent. Film, transparent. I forgot about that. Okay. We do again. Why is it taking so long to render? I need to just download Blender for like a fresh one, because this my current Blender installation is not it. Something is just corrupted somewhere. Wait, let me just close a bunch of stuff. 1 second. Actually close Blender, render, Figma. Goes. Have this here. Close this and yeah, Blender. No, man. Jeez, but I didn't save. Just all right. Let's try that again. I just want to get a simple, mesh thing going. Recover last session. Please save me. Oh, schmucks, bro. That's not the last session I wanted. This one, please. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Ah. Never back down, never what? Never give up. So, I guess we're not gonna give up. Dimensions. 297 mm. Okay, I should be quicker with all this stuff. Let's see, mesh plane. Documents, downloads. No, is that it? Scribbles. Actually, does it even matter? Let's bring that in, and I'll just do like this, just to make sure it has the thing. So image texture, I'm going to select scribbles, and then I'm going to do the little fixing so it looks good. The material preview. That should be fine. Sheesh, I don't know if I mean, if you wanted to, I mean, I'm just gonna go with this. This is this is gonna be your plane. Like in some alternate universe, I would do a, you know, I would go on to make the paper to like curve or something. So I can do a like this, subdivide, and then I'll just go on this one and subdivide a bunch of times. You know, something like that. Can make it a little bit. No, I wouldn't actually do it this way. To be honest, I would probably get in a curve. A curve like this maybe, and then set the deform modifier, mesh deform, pick the curve. Oh, this is new. Curve. Pick that and pick. I think it should be like. Let's see. Something like that. Oh yeah, take this and then T. Take this. What's the Y? Then of course I would go in here and select all this. Make it a vertex group. Then I'll go in here and then build the thing, and then I'll choose the vertex group. Right. Maybe I should just do like this one. Assign. Select. So, yep. So do that, and then go in here. Move that, like that. Here. And do a rotation like this. Then I don't know, cycle through this. Gotta find something that makes sense. It should be that, ideally. Go in here, maybe delete this. 1, 2. X 36. Hey you. I don't know how I added a circle when I typed in Bezier, but you know, life gives you lemons. You make a show and call it Coco Lemon or some shit. So like that. What the heck it's doing? Sheesh, bro. I cannot. Either way, some level of fiddling with this and I will get like a curve. But I don't know why I wasted time doing that just now. I don't know why I wasted my time and your time. But we're not doing that. So this is what we're doing. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Call this SM underscore paper, and then we're going to export really quickly to downloads again. Sorry, SM underscore paper, and I'm just gonna do my note. Oh, textures my note. Apply. Export to FBX. Boom. Assets. Import. Paper. I should come in with a texture. I want to create a material. Just scribbles and a thing. And I'm going to make a scribble material for it as well. So we're almost at the end. And underscore scribbles. So paper gets scribbles. All this scribbles. Save. Then here we just actually build first. Nice. So we can go back, open this, and now just delete that. And you know what we said, chuck that in there. Save. Beauty about scene graph, you make the change here, and badoosh, it updates everywhere. So we're gonna do this. And where are we? Notes, assets. I'm gonna do this one first. Actually, let's do both of them. So just so it looks kind of like, you know, kind of like the same. Actually, I can do SM paper and then click on this so I can preview the thing on the stuff. And then just do like let's see, min first so we can get the text on there. Yeah, you know what, I'm just going to do that. Call it a day. Apply. And yep. Where are we? We got that. Okay. That's it. You got that. Just gonna push changes so I can see it in game and you know can do a final look. So you just place this wherever you want and you got yourself a sheet of paper that you can read. Ooh, read. That's good. That's good. That's a good thing. That's a good name. I should have thought about that. Called the basic interactive component. I mean, read, pick up. You know, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want there. Okay, let's do a quick solve. Oh, this one's actually easier. I think I can smell it. So do this and then do something like this. Yeah. Oh, that might. Okay. All of them just high. What the heck? Oh wait, no. Don't save. By opening this. This is why I don't play in flipping full screen. Oh my god. Just get out of full screen and and your life is a lot easier. Alright, so note. Just going to take him down to like eye level or something. Oh, wait, I need to struggle. Muchacho. Oh my days. I am so sorry. I just realized I had I had the feeling, and I just realized like the chat does not update, right? Like it just did now, but yeah, I'll be posting it on my Patreon like later. But once the maybe not even once the stream is over. Once I just confirm before I move on from, oh my god, bro. I just heard a message. Before I move on from this thing, once I just confirm that, you know, I mean, pretty much that's all I wanted to confirm, really. I will just send it over to you. Things I have to close like UEFN to zip it so that it doesn't like corrupt or whatever. But then I'll make a copy of that. No, let's test something. I mean, obviously you wouldn't do this in a live game, but I just want to see if I update the node component here. Note updated. Let's see how powerful the new live edit is. Come on. Look at that, mid-game. Anyway, so basically, if you are playtesting a game and you like see, oh no, hi, my name is Trina, right to let you know that she's watching. It is not safe. She love you. Oh, I missed an R. I missed a Y there. You could just go in, right? Type it in, and you have to like reload the thing. But then, you know, I miss it. You get the point. Just it's easy when you are doing that. If you had set up with the first device, blah blah blah, nah, bro, that won't work. You would just have to hope and pray that you got the right one or whatever. And you have to fish for it. Like you would go into your first device and you start scrolling through editables and stuff, you know. But here you just do it there. It is not safe. Let's put a thing there. Put it up. Then update again. Ah, nice. Escape. So that is it. That is it. That's it. Any other thing you want to do would be like in terms of like, you know, would be in terms of, I don't know, if you want to change, obviously if you want to change the design of the paper, I just put like a default thing there. I just made the default thing so it's like, you know, it's not bare. But if you want to change the design of the paper, you want to change the stuff in the, you know, maybe the background in the blueprint, you know, you just replace the image and just do whatever you want. If you want to change the text, the height, the stuff, you know where to do it. Yeah, if I don't, I'll have to like, do I have to close UEFN? I might actually, oh man, the stream has been going on for 3 hours, so I will close UEFN. I will end the stream now, I guess. Then I will send it over to you once that's over. All right, well, that was quite the side quest. You guys have a great rest of your night and stuff. Have a great day tomorrow. And yeah. Oh my goodness, Compo. Why is bro arriving like right as I'm about to leave? Oh no, not Compo. I mean, oh, FN Create. The FN Creators on my chat. Woohoo! welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. I am glad I could help. But Compo, I'm actually going to end the stream. This is not going to be like last time. I'm about to end the stream. I'm about to go to sleep. Not go to sleep, but like go to bed. Because I shouldn't be sitting down too long. Yeah. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Bro, what? Bro. Oh my god. Stream on YouTube. Nah. Cannot be saying these things on my stream, bro. All right, well, everybody except the people watching, I love you all. Have a good night, and Compo, please don't do that again. Thank you. Okay, bye.